Hey guys, welcome back to another Morphogen product review, and today I'm going to go over MorphoBrain. All right. Okay, so MorphoBrain would definitely fall under the nootropic category, a pretty popular category now, though a lot of the time the products you're going to see on the market are individual ingredients or maybe one or two ingredients here and there. This really encompasses pretty much all the primary neurotransmitters and different types of ingredients and pathways that you would want in a nootropic product. So you can get it all right here in the bottle. And of course, I'm going to go over the bullet points on the side first. So, may assist with cognition, memory and mental focus, mood and mental well-being, motivation and task completion, alertness, wakefulness, and reducing daytime sleepiness, anxiety reduction and prevention of cognitive decline, neuroprotection, and physical performance and fatigue. So it's really versatile. I mean, you could really use it anytime that you wanted to be more productive, but I personally like it. Like right now in contest prep, it's really good just because I need to keep my productivity up. And most days are really, really busy. Some days slightly more than others, but like there's certain days I just won't take it. Weekend days, while I still have emails and things like that, and maybe clients competing and whatnot, they aren't quite as fast paced, so I won't use it on those days. And that's normally what I suggest with people is don't use it on the most demanding days. Don't use it 7 days a week. Anything that's gonna not interfere, it has interplay with neurotransmitters, I wouldn't necessarily recommend using it daily. But anyhow, back to the product. Let's talk a little bit about what is in it. All right. So first ingredient is lion's mane. That's a mushroom extract. A lot of people are familiar with that. A lot of people use it. Now, there are a couple things to note on the lion's mane is you do want a high yield extract. You have a 96% extract here. You do want a high enough dose, obviously, 1,000 milligrams, which you have here. And you really want to get the fruiting bud version and not the grain version. So you'll see that, and that's where people sneak that in. A lot of companies will sneak in the mycelium version. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And that's just the grain version. It's not going to yield all the bioactive components or as much of them as you want. So you really want the fruiting bodies, and that's what you get. So this just helps with general prevention of cognitive decline. It also helps with immune function and just general cognitive boost. So it's not a stimulant. You're not going to get, you're not going to feel like you're on caffeine or anything like that. But it does have those short-term and long-term benefits. All right, so next one is L-Tyrosine. All right, so there are a couple forms of L-Tyrosine. L-Tyrosine itself is a little bit less water-soluble than N-acetyl L-Tyrosine, which some people might have used. Now, the difference is, while it is a little less water-soluble, it's also a lot more bioavailable. So the L-Tyrosine form works really well. And it's dosed here at 1,000 milligrams. Now, this actually, so L-Tyrosine is an interesting ingredient. It's one of those ingredients that really shines like during stressful periods, so why you would want to maybe take it pre-workout. But it could obviously, it's going to work during any stressful period and help cope with that. It helps regulate and enhance production of certain neurotransmitters. So we're talking about things like dopamine, and which will eventually end up as adrenaline, and will in norepinephrine. Primarily those are the two that you're going to get. Primarily those are the two that you're going to have benefit from here. So L-Tyrosine works really well at about 1,000 milligrams. That's what you're going to get here. Now, I'll talk about dosing on this a little bit later, but 1,000 milligrams is a really good dose of L-Tyrosine. So next one is Mucuna Purines, or Purines I call them. I just say L-Dopa. That's essentially what it's yielding L-Dopa. L-Dopa is the active ingredient. It's a 98% yield of L-Dopa. So as you can probably guess, you're going to get a dopamine boost there. Okay, so dopamine is definitely the feel-good component, feel-good neurotransmitter. So powerful stimulant drugs like cocaine, for example, also boost dopamine. So you are getting like a euphoric, nice, uplifting mood. Now, this isn't going to be necessarily stimulatory, though the dopamine boost can potentially boost adrenaline a little bit. It's not going to be anything that's going to wire you out. Okay, so L-Dopa here, you're getting 750 milligrams. Clinical dose is right around that. Maximum clinical dose right around that area. So that is the Mucuna Purines. All right. Okay, so next one is Cognizin, and that is a patented form of acetylcholine. All right, so acetylcholine, okay. So acetylcholine is interesting because acetylcholine is going to provide both choline and eventually uridine. Now, a lot of people use a choline source or of some type, but you miss the uridine component in there. So this actually combines two ingredients essentially together. So you're going to end up getting your uridine through a conversion pathway, which we won't go into. But anyhow, that is acetylcholine. So as I said, you're going to boost acetylcholine. Acetylcholine has neuroprotective benefits. It has cognitive benefits. Acetylcholine is kind of like I'd call it like the master nootropic. It controls a lot of other components, and there will be other components tied into that as we go down the ingredient list. So here we're getting 500 milligrams, okay? All right, so next is Bacopa. Now, this is a 55% yield at 300 milligrams. That's, again, right around the clinical dose. Now, Bacopa's more on the lines of like the anti-anxiety type of ingredient. It is a nootropic herb. You will get some focus from it, but it primarily comes in the way of channeling the other ingredients and things like your dopamine boost. Well, you want to zone that in, or things like stimulants. You don't want it to be sporadic and out of control and everywhere. You want it to be zoned in. So that's kind of where the Bacopa is going to come into play. So with this, you're also getting 300 milligrams. And Bacopa does a couple other cool things too. It helps with general communication between the nerves. It just makes your nerves work better. So all these other ingredients that will impact the nervous system and be neuroprotective, Bacopa is going to make all of these things work better. So not only does it have that anti-anxiety effect, but it's just going to make the other ingredients in the product work better. So nice complement here. Okay, so next ingredient is Drafenil. Okay, so some of you are probably familiar with this. It is a component of modafinil, or it has conversion into modafinil, which is a narcolepsy drug. Modafinil is not over the counter. Drafenil is. It has conversion into modafinil, like I said. This just helps with general wakefulness during the day. It is going to have some stimulatory properties. Again, though, it is not a stimulant like caffeine. It's more of you're not really going to get tired, but you're also not going to feel wired, if that makes sense. So that's kind of how I like to describe it. With this, you're getting 300 milligrams, pretty standard dose. So nothing too crazy here. That is actually the only quote-unquote stimulant in the product, though I would consider it a relatively light stimulant, compared to like heavy CNS stims. Okay, so next is phenylpyrracetam. Now, it's very much like pyrracetam, if anyone's familiar with any of the racetams. It's just a little more potent, adding the phenyl group. So you're getting 100 milligrams. All right, so with this, you're also getting the neuroprotective benefits. The pyrracetams, or the racetams, I guess you should say, there are several of them. Anti-racetam, oxyracetam, there's a bunch. But the phenylpyrracetam seems to be like one of the more popular ones now in a lot of the updated formulas. Again, another just general cognitive boost. This one works very well with the choline sources. So traditionally, nootropics, people, when they use racetams, they were using in conjunction with the choline source, because there could be potential for choline depletion. So these two are going to work in conjunction really well with each other. But again, 100 milligrams, it's going to help with focus and alertness, has some long-term neuroprotective benefits. So you can't really go wrong there. Now, we also have Nopept. All right, so Nopept in this product is dosed at 30 milligrams. So that is a research-supported dose. Now, you could get effect from a lower dose, like you'll see it at 10 milligrams. Some people will feel that. But this, we're using the full clinical dose of Nopept. And it is, yes, correct. It is the full 30. Okay, so with this, you're getting a mild cognitive boost. It is, I would describe it similar to the race TAMs in terms of stimulation. Like it's not going to feel like caffeine. It's not going to feel like ephedrine. It's not going to feel like DMAA or anything crazy like that. But it will give some wakefulness and alertness. I just like to think that it's making your brain work better. It's not necessarily stimulating your CNS. Okay, it's more of a psychostimulatory type of feel. All right, so that is your Nopept. Last one, Huperzine A. Now, Huperzine A is pretty cool because it also will make the other ingredients work better. It actually enhances the effects of choline. So again, with choline being kind of your master nootropic, that makes a lot of sense, right? Now with this, you're getting 200 micrograms. Now, you'll see doses of Huperzine all over the board, like from 50 up to 300. 200 seems to be good. 300, there could potentially be some issues, but at 200, I've never personally seen issues in myself or with anyone else. So again, Huperzine, this is kind of like, I would compare it to estrogen that's added to the other products to enhance absorption and to enhance the other ingredients. And essentially, it's what it's doing is it's going to enhance the other products or the other ingredients in the product. So yeah, that's MorphoBrain. All right, so a couple little notes on that. There is variable dosing with this. There's a lot of ways you can do it. 3 caps, a lot of people will feel. 6 caps is a full dose. Some people use 6. A lot of people like to do 3 in the morning and 3 midday, something like that. Now it does, like I said, it does have some stimulatory aspect to it, especially with the adrafinil. So it's not something you would want to take at night necessarily. But it's very long lasting. It's very subtle. It's not going to bring you up and slam you down. So you could split it if you want. You could use it if you need a quicker, more intense short-term boost. You could just do all 6 by themselves, or you could just do 3 at a time. I mean, it's really variable dosing. Yeah. So again, pretty simple to dose. Really just depends on how you like to use it. As I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't necessarily suggest using it daily, but it's more of a use it when you need it and it will work for you type of product. All right, guys, so you can obviously find this on the Morphogen website. I will link it up in the description and provide my discount code, as always, DATA4. I think that's it. Sometimes I forget. I'll make sure I link it up. Anyhow, thanks for watching and hope you guys are well.